What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday, everybody. What's up, guys? Samir, what's going on, bro? Getting what's up? Tom, what's going on, man? Tom, I can't see your profile picture very well, but I like the blue hair, bro. I got some blue hair also. Wednesday, 11 a.m. By that U, it sounds like maybe Australia or New Zealand in the house. Taking a wild guess. What's up, guys? Oh, let me get my screen going. There we go. Trudy, welcome. Gary, what's going on? Aussie reppin', nice. Love Australia. Love, love, love Australia. Spent quite a bit of time out there on the Gold Coast. Trisha, what's going on? Welcome. Lon Ray, what's going on? Paul, welcome. All right, guys. We'll get started in like a minute here. Thank you. Glad to be back, guys. Glad to be back doing these weekly outlooks. You know, I made a commitment to do these weekly outlooks every week this year. So even if they're not on a Sunday, if I'm out traveling, not able to this weekend I had some pretty poor Wi-Fi, so wasn't able to do it out where I was, but still wanted to hop on here on Tuesday. What's up, Rick? What's up, Patrick? Thanks for all the love in the chat, guys. Appreciate y'all. Taylor, what's up? Welcome. Definitely, guys, smash that like button. Smash that like button for this video. Helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Okay, guys, like 30 seconds, like 20 seconds actually, we'll get started. I've been seeing comments that you guys are vibing with the music being in the background over the session. So I'm probably going to leave the music, guys. Apologize if you're one of the few that finds it distracting, but gotta roll with the majority on this one, guys. I want to make sure this is as pleasant for everybody as possible. It's Tuesday. We got a lot to talk about. Okay. Let's get into it, guys. Everybody, welcome to the weekly outlook. I know it's not quite a weekly outlook. We're already in... Let me lower the music just one. I'll keep it there. Let me know if the music is too loud, guys. Still trying to find the sweet spot. If it's a little loud, let me know. If it's perfect, let me know. What's up, the trader? Yeah, it's been a while for some of you guys. I know I kind of took a break from doing these outlooks last year, but I'm glad to be back doing these. Getting to just hop on here, connect with you guys, share some knowledge. Probably we'll turn it down one notch, but welcome to the weekly outlook, guys. It's Tuesday, January 12th. So as I was mentioning before, I officially started this on Sunday. My Wi-Fi wasn't that great, so I opted to do this week's outlook on Tuesday. Okay, and actually there's not a whole lot on the calendar this week. If we actually take a look at the economic calendar, we didn't really miss anything, right? Nothing Monday, nothing today, nothing tomorrow. I do just want to briefly say we do have the chair of the Federal Reserve, right? Jerome Powell. He's going to be speaking Thursday morning from Princeton, I believe. I think I saw this earlier. Yeah, it's due to speak at a webinar hosted by Princeton University. So definitely look for some key, some key hints at monetary policy on that. And then Friday morning, we've got some core retail sales for the US dollar. But that's it for high impact news this week. We could throw medium impact on here just to see. Looks like there's some month over month CPI Wednesday morning. We've got ECB President Lagarde speaking also right at the beginning, right towards the beginning of the London session. So a couple different things for medium impact, but yeah, not a whole lot not a lot of diversity for high impact, all USD. Jameson, good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend also. So guys, let me know in the chat or the comments. You guys know, what have I been trading? I mean, besides gold, right? What is my theme been? What have I been biased towards? Can anybody tell me? Do you guys know what I've been looking to do specifically to the US dollar? I've been kind of had the same theme since I've restarted these weekly outlooks back in December. I really, and nothing has changed. I'm looking at really doing one thing and one thing only on the long term. And that is selling the dollar. Okay? We're going to talk about Bitcoin in a moment. I know crypto's been going crazy. We saw a massive drop on Bitcoin. We saw a massive drop on Ethereum. I mean, not as massive on Ethereum, but a pretty good drop on Bitcoin. We saw a massive drop on gold. So we're going to talk about all of those, but the real common theme, and I want you guys to maybe if you have something to write this down, or maybe just remember this, whatever we're looking at, or wherever you keep all your information, guys, don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Okay, for me, and this is just my opinion, remember that everything you guys see on these webinars is educational, informational purposes only. Okay, nothing on this webinar or nothing on this live stream is supposed to be investment advice or financial advice whatsoever. So this is just my opinion. Okay, but I believe that the US dollar is going to weaken significantly. Okay, I believe that it's going to continue weakening. Right, we've seen week after week after week of it dropping last year. It's kind of sat around some lows the past couple of weeks. Okay, so this is the weekly chart of the dollar index right here. And we can see that it's been struggling to move lower. But I'm telling you guys, I'm pretty sure that the dollar is getting ready to drop further. Okay, so here's the daily on the dollar. And I'll let you guys know right now, there's a lot of you guys on here right now. I think gold is really good for buys right now. Like I'm saying, like today, sometime, and holding it long term. Okay, holding it back into the 2000 range. I think gold is a great buy. I'm thinking about actually calling a gold buy, taking a gold buy myself also. Anything I call, I take also. Gold buys, silver buys. Okay, I think any of the USD shorts are great. Okay, gold buys, silver buys. All right. Anything on look at dollar yen. I think dollar yen is great shorts. Okay. I think USD CAD is great shorts. I think USD Swiss franc is great shorts. I think AUD USD buys are great. I think NZD USD buys are great. Anything where we are playing USD weakness right now is what I'm really liking. Okay, haven't really been interested in many of the miners. Okay, I know there's a lot of different miners in here, but really just focused on USD. Okay, focused on USD. So dollar index also. I mean, this is some pretty clear sign right here. It's been struggling to regain above the 90 level. Okay, we had a little bit of a push the past day since the market opened above 90. We can see it, we are coming right back below 90 right now. Okay, I'm expecting this 90 level to hold, or not to hold. I'm expecting it to give way to lower levels. Okay, I think 89 is easily in the books. Okay, so I urge you guys this week, if you're trading, don't lose sight of the big picture. Okay, this comes from really two places. Okay, same thing that caused this downtrend in March of last year. Okay, this downtrend was caused by rates flying up. Okay, we saw the Fed completely cut interest rates. Okay, and so this causes a massive inflation of the US dollar. Okay, and we've seen the US dollar get weaker and weaker and weaker. So this is the long-term fundamental backing on a weak US dollar. Now, more recently, we've seen the stimulus package, right? People are already getting paid out. There's stimulus money, stimulus checks that are already being paid. So same thing that happened back in April when stimulus checks came out, and in the summer of 20, it's a $2.3 trillion package, right? What do you guys think is going to happen when $2.3 trillion just gets printed out of thin air, right? No intrinsic value, no backing. We're going to see devaluation. So I believe this year we're going to see a continued decline of the dollar. Okay, so next level is taking out the lows of 2018, and then we're going to move lower. Okay, so look for a massive drop on the dollar over Q1, Q2, a continued massive drop, right? We're really starting to see the dollar start to trend a lot lower. I think gold is a great buy right now. Like I said, guys, I think gold is a great buy. We saw at the end of last week a massive drop. And just to remind you guys, let's go back to gold. So we were talking about gold for a while. I got into a nice gold buy. I think all of you guys in the Telegram saw the gold buy. Okay, I got in around 1880, actually at 1880, with a stop loss at 1868. A couple different targets in here. But my final target was $2,070. Saw a massive rally on gold at the end of December. Okay, and then if you guys remember on last week's outlook, when I was talking about gold, we still had not really broken this high on gold. We had a big run right after last week's outlook, after I told you guys, watch for gold buys, watch for gold buys, watch for the dollar to continue weakening. We saw a move on gold from 1900 up to 1950. Okay. Let me know. Let me see. If you guys are watching the replay, let me know in the comments section. If you're watching this live right now, let me see like a fire emoji or a 1 or something, or you could say me, whatever. If you got in on this gold buy after, maybe it was when I posted it in Telegram, or maybe it was after last week's outlook. How many of you guys made money on this gold buy that we were looking at? Nice thing is, it would have obviously been a lot nicer for gold to just rally, rally higher, but we saw a bit of an exhaustion on gold. Came back, secured some profits at the top around 1940, came back to break even. Okay, and now it's offering another entry. And what's cool is we bought the first time at 1880. Now we're able to buy around 1860, so we're able to buy gold at a cheaper price, have just as tight of a stop loss. I'm going to be putting my stop loss probably around 1835-ish, okay? But this was a very nice spike on gold. What's up, everybody? See Drew, what's going on? See lots of people in there. Yep, every year we saw a massive spike. We see a massive spike on gold. Okay. Nice. See, I got in on this buy. Big profits. Nice. Awesome, guys. If you're watching the replay, I don't know if you can see the live chat. You might be able to. Not sure how I have it set up on the YouTube, but see a good deal of you guys in the chat right now. Drop in fireballs and appreciate that. Glad you guys got into that. Okay, so thing with gold is I'm expecting it to go up to 2,300 minimum this year. Okay, with all this inflation, and Jerome Powell said it himself. Okay, Powell said it himself. You see a question in here too, XRP. What indicates bearish continuation for US dollar? Any divergence? I mean, yeah, you can use technical indicators all day long. I'm more of a fundamental trader though. So a lot of my moves are going to be fundamentally based. There's some different technicals you can use too to spot divergence. Also, moving averages, pivot points, RSI, stochastics, whatever floats your boat. But I think having a well balanced strategy, definitely leaning heavy on the fundamentals is pretty important in my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So that's that gold setup. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that for now, or just hide it for now. But that was a pretty clean trade. This is what I'm looking to do with gold now. Looking at taking a buy right around here. Anywhere around here is good. Any $5 area, right? Whether it's 1865, 1855, wherever, but somewhere around here. Looking at getting in on gold. And I'm gonna put my stop loss just below yesterday's low. Okay, so it's a little wider stop loss than the last stop loss. Okay, 1859 down to 1835. It's about about a $24 move, right? 2,400 pips if you're counting pips on gold. I'm not a big fan of counting pips by the $500 or counting pips on gold because it's not technically correct, but I know a lot of people will count pips on gold. So if we're talking pips, it's about 2,400 pips. Okay, I like to speak in terms of the actual dollar movement. So 1859 down to 1835, about a $24 move. And I would retarget these highs. Okay, that's the first step is retargeting these highs around 1960. Okay, that's going to offer a nice risk to reward. About a 1 to 4, a little bit better than a 1 to 4 risk to reward. So that's nice. You risk 3% of your account, you're going to gain 12% on a win. And then if you want to go back up to last year's highs around 2070, that's like a 1 to 9 risk to reward, right? You risk 3% to make 27% if you risk 3%. Okay, but I think anywhere in this area is great to be buying gold. In my opinion, right? This is just my opinion. I think buying gold right now is good. And if you guys are considering taking this trade, as always, use good risk management, right? Use proper risk management. There's no need to YOLO an account, right? Unless you specifically have an amount set aside to YOLO and you're totally okay with losing it if it's a losing trade, right? But I don't really condone YOLO trading your main account, right? Your main growth account. This would be a nice move, okay? And you want to use good risk management on it, whether that's 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever you want to risk. I even think 5% on larger accounts are a little too risky, right? 2%, 3% is a good sweet spot for larger accounts. So that's gold. Silver, same play, right? Buying anywhere in this area. Okay, buying anywhere in this area. Stop below yesterday's lows. Okay, and then targeting the more recent highs. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit worse risk to reward, so I might opt in for gold because that's gonna be a 2.8 risk to reward, a 1 to 2.8. And then if we go to last year's highs, we're going to be at a 1 to 5. So gold might actually be the better play. You're going to be able to get a better risk to reward on these gold buys. Okay, but gold looks great for some buys. Silver looks great for some buys. I know some of you guys really like to trade silver, so I figured I would I would mention it. Okay, commodities look great. Okay, oil also. Commodities look great right now for buys. Okay, I don't really condone buying at the highs, right? Generally, we want to buy low and sell high. But if you are looking for directional bias on commodities, I would say up. Okay, I would say just based on everything that's going on right now, we're in a fairly risk-off environment. Okay, fairly risk-off. We aren't. I mean, I get the stock market, is doing well. Okay, and we can talk about US 30 for a moment. Okay, I also am quite bullish on the stock market. Okay, so if you're somebody who trades indices, if you're a US 30 trader, right, the Dow, you trade the Nasdaq Composite, the NAS 100, NAS 100, however you guys want to call that, right? If you trade the S&P, right, the SPX 500, the DAX, the German 30, right? Any of these, I believe, are going to make some new highs this week. Okay, stock market is going to keep moving higher. Okay, this is the daily of US 30. Looks like a great play to move higher. Okay, look at that. Look at all this consolidation. Once we break out of this consolidation here from actually this was this week, because we're already Tuesday. So this week, right, we should make another extension like this, right? Some sort of move like this, we should see another one of these, right? We could actually take the fib extension, go from here to the highs down to here. And we should see a push to at least 31,275. Okay, 31,275. What about BTC? Yes, we'll definitely get to crypto in just a moment. Okay, so I'm definitely expecting a nice push on US 30 this week. Okay, the equity market should do pretty well. Okay, we're seeing a lot of stocks start to move higher. A lot of tech stocks doing pretty well. Tesla is on an absolute tear, guys. Any of you guys invested in Tesla? My goodness, Tesla is just going to the moon, right? It was at $700 the beginning of this year, right? $700 at the beginning of this year. Now we're at $850. Like, just absolute nutty moves for Tesla, and I'm definitely part of the bull gang with Tesla. Okay, Tesla's going to keep moving higher. This might be, debatable, obviously. Like, we can all have opinions, but I do think one day Tesla will make up over 50% of the cars on the road. Okay, so electric cars is where we're moving towards. I think getting into Tesla now, even at these highs, I mean, there's going to be stock splits, right? Tesla has seen many stock splits, and it's going to continue to happen. So the valuation of Tesla is there. But yeah, stock market, if you guys trade indices, I'm only looking to sell the dollar, right? So that's buying stocks, buying gold, right? Anything that has to do with shorting the US dollar. I am extremely bearish on the US dollar. If you want to buy Euro USD, that's great too, right? I think Euro USD this year is going to break the 2018 highs. Minimum, right? We're not very far at all from the 2018 highs. We're at 122. 2018 highs are 125.56, right? Not hard at all. That's 300 pips, right? We have 11 and a half months to break 300 pips. It's already done. Okay, the US dollar is massive, right? We're getting into we're in a recession right now, right? Whether the media, whoever wants to say that we aren't in a recession, we're in a recession, right? The US is in a recession. And again, I'm not just speaking to anybody that lives in the US, right? If I saw some people, we were just talking about, there's someone in here from Australia, right? If you're in here from Europe, South America, wherever you're from, Asia, right? Wherever you're tuning in from. Nice thing about Forex is you can trade all the currencies. Right? You can have a broker, you can trade all these different currencies. You can trade gold, you can trade silver. You can take these types of trades. Okay? Look at this consolidation that we've been in on gold. Right? Look at this consolidation. Gold is ready to move and make another leg up. Or I'm sorry, this is silver. Gold, silver, they both look the same, right? Look at these massive moves and then just nothing but consolidation, right? Gold is ready. Gold and silver are both getting ready to pump. Okay. XRP, you said fib retrace. That was what I was just showing on US 30. That was just a fib extension, a trend-based extension. Okay, so you go from like the low to the highs, and then wherever you want to start it at. And that's going to give me whatever this measurement is, right here, from this high to this low, this move, it's going to measure out the same move for me. So I particularly like this tool with bull flags. Let me change the colors on this, guys. We'll use one color. We'll change this to pink. There we go. Okay, there we go. Right now we can see a 100% move. So if you measure this from the bottom to the high up here, it's about in points or in pips 3,729 pips, which is 372 points. So the same move, right? Same thing, right about the same move. Okay, so I like this on bull flags. And look at these, look at this drop, guys, overnight. This happened last night, okay, and then it recovered this morning during the New York session. Okay, US 30 drop. Look at these wicks. Look at these wicks right here. Like, sellers were not able to sustain a move below the 31 level, right? And the stocks are now just pumping again. We're about to break out of today's or yesterday's highs and then just see a big pump on US 30 all week. This is my opinion, of course, but I do believe we're going to see these indices pump. Which miner on Cash App can people use that reflects this gold? I have no idea what that means, Dominique. I'm sorry. Which miner on Cash App can people use that reflects this gold? I'm not quite sure I'm following you. If you can reword that. Asha, welcome. You're a bit late. No worries. No worries. I want to talk about Bitcoin for a moment, guys. I actually have two articles that I'd like to share with you guys really quickly, or that I found. A couple things actually. I want to look at the options on Ledger too, just to show you guys where options are at and how the options, the bigger options, or the long-term higher price point Bitcoin options are accumulating more. But I really like CoinDesk. If you guys need a website to get some good information on crypto, CoinDesk I think is a great resource. Okay. Now the title of this is called Bitcoin Whales Kept Accumulating During Monday's Crash. And there's a line in here that I want to just read. It says, the number of Bitcoin whale, quote unquote, whale entities, right, which is clusters of crypto wallet addresses held by a single network participant holding at least 1,000 BTC. So if you have over 1,000 BTC, you're considered a whale. The number of those whale entities rose slightly to a new record high of 2,140 on Monday. Okay, the increase came even as cryptocurrency's price collapsed by more than 20% to hit a low of 30,305. So this is telling you guys that the people that are the whales, right, or striving to be whales, right, because this rose to new whale entity highs. The people that actually understand how blockchain works, that have this long-term outlook on Bitcoin, they aren't selling Bitcoin. They're buying and accumulating more of Bitcoin. I'm telling you guys right now, Bitcoin is not going anywhere. Okay, Bitcoin is not going anywhere. There's way too much of I'm not just going to say investors in this and that. I mean, there are great institutional investors and lots of banks and hedge funds and lots of firms. I mean, you name it, and they are invested in Bitcoin. Right now, we've got people like PayPal and Cash App and all these big companies that do big business, not just million-dollar companies, multi-billion-dollar companies that are acquiring Bitcoin. But let's just think of the case used, right? Think of how, and if you don't know, that's fine. Maybe I'll do a webinar down the road on blockchain, specifically on blockchain, but how blockchain technology works and how blockchain and decentralization is going to literally change the world. Okay, not just a country, not just countries, the entire world. Okay, so Bitcoin, it's gonna, obviously the markets have to breathe, right? If we look at the daily, okay, this is just the daily on Bitcoin right here. We look at, it did not really have a significant pullback. I mean, it hasn't even had a big pullback since last year, right? March of last year was the last time it had a big pullback, and then we pumped a little bit, made a new high in August, right? This was shortly after the halving event earlier in 2020, right? Beginning of, or towards the beginning half of 2020, right? And then it consolidated for a while, and then we've just really gone straight up. We had a bit of a pullback end of November, went from 19K down to 16K, consolidated again, had another push, right? No pullback. We made new highs at 23K, made new highs at 23K, but we didn't really pull back, right? We got to 20, went from the highs of 24,000, right? Just barely broke 24,000 to the lows of 21,900. Not really a big pullback. And then another sharp move to the upside at the end of this year and beginning of January to new highs around 34,000, almost 35,000, right? And then the day after, on January 4th, we had a drop from, like I said, almost a 35,000 range down to 27,000. So that was a pullback. It wasn't really sustained, right? We can see that happened in a day. That long wick on the daily dropped and then came right back up. Then another pump up to 40K, right? And now we're sitting at 33K, just barely about to be sub 33K. Okay, so this is natural. I think this is a natural, the way what I would describe it as, just a natural environment of the market, right? We're going to see the market move. We're going to see a sell-off of investors, right? This is going to, it also is mentioned right here, right? It's going to test weak hands, right? It says weak hands crowded out. You guys know weak hands, right? People that buy, they'll buy a little bit of Bitcoin at, 30, whatever. They'll buy it at, 38K, 39K towards the top. And then the second their account goes into negative, right? We're talking about investors, people that are acquiring this coin, right? They'll sell that coin, right? They'll see it drop down to 36K and then they get out of the market, right? This is weak hands. You have to have diamond hands, right? Referred to, often refined, if you guys follow Wall Street Bets, right? Diamond hands in these markets. This might seem a little conservative, or maybe not conservative at all. Might seem a little crazy, but I do think in this year, I think in 2021, we're going to see a 100K Bitcoin. Okay, not hard to believe, considering the fact that from the beginning of this year, sitting at 26, 27K-ish, at the beginning of this year, 28K, that in 1 week and 1 day, we rose to 41K, right? That's a 45% increase, right? Almost a 50% increase in 1 week. So anybody that says that seems too crazy, I would say, just look at the charts, look at the moves, right? Documentation over conversation, right? We're easily seeing these types of pumps in Bitcoin. And as this mass adoption continues, it's, we're still just breaking into mass adoption. But if we do look at Bitcoin on the 4-hour, it did come back to this liquidity zone from this pullback at the beginning of January. Might drop a little bit more, but I don't think there's much downside left on Bitcoin. I mean, it really boils, in my opinion, it breaks down to one of two things. Either Bitcoin is going to have another big drop, okay, and we'll see a significant drop, maybe down to like the 25K range, the 22K range. That's option A, and that all depends. Obviously it sounds kind of cliche when I'm like, oh, it's either going to go up or either going to go down. That's quite obvious, but I think it depends on what it does right specifically around this area. Okay, around the 30 to 33K area, the previous area of liquidity in the beginning of January. I'm more biased to a bottom forming and us continuing to pump. Okay, I believe that there's quite a few options. I just want to look at options for just a moment. Okay, and if we look at the January 29th options expiring at the 50K level, okay, there's 23K orders. Okay, there's quite a bit of liquidity. Look at this, 23K. Okay, 23,000 orders of a 50K Bitcoin Obviously this is covered calls. Okay, so in my opinion, this is just hinting to me that Bitcoin is going to continue moving higher. Okay, the premium, and anytime you sell a covered call on Bitcoin, the premium is really nice. Okay, these covered calls are great. Matter of fact, Wall Street Bets, their YouTube channel he does a great job. Mikey, he does a great job. Big shout out to Mikey. He does a good job explaining covered calls. Okay, you can also see covered calls for December of this year. Right, we've just to point out, there's 19,000 orders. There's 19,000 covered call options are already sold at the 100K strike price on December 31st of this year. So, yeah, kind of an interesting spot. And look at the premium, 7,000 per Bitcoin that you have, 7,000 to 7,900 per Bitcoin. So this tells me that, obviously that's just volume of people selling, but it just kind of gives the bigger picture that people that are entering into these contracts, right? They aren't dumb. They know what's going on with the market. Okay. So yeah, weekends crowded out. I do just want to mention this. Okay, I did see this article this morning that the SEC Enforcement Director Berger, he's stepping down. Okay, so this should probably be, short term, some good news for the Ripple lawsuit, right? It says Berger presided over the enforcement division when it launched the Ripple lawsuit. So different enforcement director coming in, right? They may have a different position on this whole Ripple lawsuit. It's kind of an interesting spot for, we're a lot of crazy things. What else have we seen, right? In terms of, off the markets, we've seen Trump too, right? You guys have all seen all the news, right? His Twitter account got suspended. He doesn't really have a voice on social media right now. So all sorts of, the past 7 days, actually 9 days, because it's Tuesday, and the last time I saw you guys was the Sunday before last. It's been quite a bit in the market. Okay, it's been quite a bit that's happened in the world. And then, of course, we've got the January 20th right around the corner. Right, next Thursday or next Wednesday, we've got the inauguration. Okay, so kind of a bumpy January. Okay, inauguration day on Wednesday the 20th. Okay, I believe Trump just announced that he is not going to be at the inauguration ceremony. So, yeah, a lot of things happening in the market. There are a lot of fundamentals, a lot of macros that can affect the market. Okay. XRP, why would you hold a drawdown? It's clever to sell it. Just buy it down. I mean, it depends on if you're spot trading. That's one thing. I'm assuming we're talking about cryptocurrency at this point. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you're talking about. I assume you're talking about Bitcoin or Ethereum or Ripple. In my opinion, I would never sell any actual accumulated any coin or token that I actually hold. Specifically Bitcoin. I mean, if you're spot trading it, that's one thing. It can be pretty volatile spot trading it, or you can do something even better, and you can sell covered calls. Right? Selling covered calls is actually what I would do for accumulated Bitcoin. I see what you're saying. The head and shoulders on the 4-hour. I definitely can see that here. Right? We've got a little bit. We've got our left shoulder right here. We've got our head right here. I see that. Right? But if we want to get technical, a head and shoulders is not completed, right? This formation, we don't technically sell a head and shoulders or buy an inverted head and shoulders until the neckline is broken. So for this to be what I would consider a valid head and shoulders to trade, or to give insight of where it's going, we need this right shoulder to complete. We need to see the neckline broken and moving lower. Okay, still can do a lot in this area. But I see it. Yeah, I definitely see it. We've seen a bit of a struggle around the 35K range for Bitcoin. Okay. Did Trader, you said they're going to win after all. I knew I should have held more XRP. I mean, it's still up in the air, right? I'm not the enforcing director at the SEC, so a lot of things can happen. But I wouldn't count your count your chickens too early, right? Lot still has to hatch. So I'm kind of on the sidelines with cryptocurrency. You know, I'm really liking the stock market right now, specifically US 30, NAS 100, S&P, and then gold. Okay, I think gold is gonna do really well. I think with everything going on, we're shifting back into a risk-off environment, right? I know things with the vaccine back in November that led us into a risk-on environment. Had a nice decline in gold, but I mean we're still seeing, apparently I'm seeing a lot of reports that the cases are still spiking, right? COVID deaths are spiking, so this is creating, moving us back into a risk-off scenario. Okay, so I'm selling the dollar this week, guys. I'm definitely selling the dollar. Gold buys, silver buys, and I would watch gold closely. I know gold is having a bit of consolidation, but honestly, right, we want to buy low, sell high. Right, I get that there's a bit of a bear flag here on gold. It looks like it could move lower, and it could. It all depends on what the dollar is going to do here. But I see the dollar just continuing to weaken here. Kind of a gap. Gap just got filled on the dollar too. Dollar index. This is with TVC. Okay, trading view calculated. All right. Again, USD CAD shorts, Euro USD buys, pound dollar. Wow, yeah, pound dollar buys also. Any of these look good for the upside. Okay, anything that you can do to sell the dollar. Selling dollar yen looks great for sells. 15-minute pattern on gold. Let's see. A bit of a bull flag that just broke on gold. I'll be honest, XRP, I am not a big intraday trader. You know, there's going to be certain times that call for it. I know some people that trade, the market maker method. It requires, the 15-minute time frame in these lower intraday trades. I personally am more of a swing trader in the markets. I personally like to do a bit more hands off when it comes to trading and just looking for a couple quality setups each month. One or two quality setups per week are kind of what I like. So gold buys this week particularly. Buying gold around here. Having a decent sized stop loss. I know in the 15-minute this could look like a big stop loss. Okay, this definitely looks like a big stop loss when you look on the lower time frames, but I will say, I'm not trading this on the lower time frames. My target, when you look at it in perspective of my actual long-term target, even if we're just going back up to these highs, that's a good risk to reward. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, risk to reward. Okay, you see what it did, and you see this large move to the upside, and it continued to move higher and higher, secured some profits around 1940. Right, this ended up being a good move, and even with securing profits at 1940, right, that's a 6,000 pip move or a $60 move, 1880 up to 1940, right, with a little $12 stop loss. Let's see. So you said close daily candle above which level? If we're talking about gold, to have momentum on gold, I would like to see yesterday's high broken. Okay, I'd like to see yesterday's high. Yesterday's high is 1863.87. So we're so close. That could easily happen. I need this level to be broken right here. Okay, I need yesterday's highs to be broken for me to really have this momentum on gold to move higher. Okay. Invalidation would, at this point, invalidation would just be stop loss getting hit, because I think there's a possibility that gold could drop, but then move up higher. Okay, it could take out the liquidity from too many people buying in this area, right? A lot of people buying, putting their stop losses below these lows. So I would probably make sure that you have a little bit of room for gold to breathe. Okay. So yeah, warning guys, if you are getting into a gold buy, make sure that you know that on the short term, right? I'm not interested in what it does in the next 15 minutes or the next 5 minutes, the next 30 minutes, right? This is another long-term swing trade for me. Hopefully, if everything goes right, I can hold this trade for a couple of weeks, right? The last gold trade held for almost 2 weeks. Okay, I'd like to hold one for a little bit longer this time. I honestly don't mind not holding a gold trade for very long though, because the swap is a bit ridiculous right now. Buying gold, the swap is not very nice. But I like the pattern that we're creating on the daily. I think we'll easily break yesterday's lows. Silver, same thing. Break yesterday's lows, should be clear cut to continue moving up higher. Okay. But guys, that is going to be it. That's going to be the weekly outlook for Tuesday. Very short week for us, right? Just hopping on here Tuesday. We've got Wednesday, Thursday, and then a little bit on Friday to trade. Thank you guys for being here. Do keep in mind, again, Thursday morning, we've got Powell speaking. Friday morning, we've got some retail sales, month-over-month retail sales for the US dollar. So definitely a little bit going there. Also, I do want to ask guys, if you got some value out of today's webinar, if you've spent some time on here and liked what I've had to say, please smash that like button, right? You guys have been awesome. I appreciate the support so much. You guys have been great ever since I started back up these weekly outlooks in mid-December. Your guys' support has been awesome. The Telegram channel, the link is in the description below. That free Telegram channel has been absolutely popping off, guys. So I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to really turning things up in 2021, right? I know a lot of you guys are winning, and you guys use this as extra confluence, but I want to add just as much more value as I can to your guys' trading. So thank you guys so much. Landra, you ask, what do I think of Ethereum? I do think Ethereum is going to continue moving up higher also, right? We've got Ethereum 2.0 right around the bend, right? Nobody knows the exact day Ethereum 2.0 is going to be released, or it's going to be, current Ethereum tokens are going to be converted to Ethereum 2.0, right? Moving from proof of work to proof of stake concept. But I think it's going to happen this year. And I mean, it's as simple as that. I think we're going to see some big moves in Ethereum, multi-$1,000 moves in Ethereum. So I think any time is a great time, especially on these dips, to be acquiring these cryptos, right? Buying and holding, moving it into offline storage, right? A cold storage, a Nano, a Trezor, something, a paper wallet, whatever you've got, buying and acquiring. So I think Bitcoin is a great buy. I think Ethereum is a great buy. Ripple is very cheap too. It depends on what happens with the lawsuit and what the SEC says. But I definitely would gravitate a little bit more towards things like specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum, because it's a technology coin, or it's built on technology. It's a technology that a lot of coins use. I think Ethereum is a great option too. So thoughts on Tron, Henry? I'm kind of over Tron right now. I mean, Tron really hasn't moved a whole lot. We also Jack Ma, right? We've seen some interesting things with Jack Ma, who is at one point was said to be one of the proteges of Justin Sun, the CEO of Jack Ma. I know there's been some negative PR on that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what Tron is doing. Right? I haven't heard a lot from Justin Sun. So a lot of altcoins, I would say I have my reservations for altcoins. Versus 3 years ago when we saw Bitcoin really popping off, and I was going pretty hard on Tron. So I've definitely moved my bias towards Bitcoin, Ethereum. If you're holding Tron from way back when, I mean, there's nothing wrong with holding it. There's a bunch of altcoins that don't have a lot of value that I'm holding, but my main focus in new accumulation is these bigger ones, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys in all you guys' love in the chat, in the comments, guys. Lots of things in the works for 2021, but I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you guys this coming Sunday for the next weekly outlook, and thanks for your guys' time. Have a safe trading week, guys.